Alright, welcome to this channel. In today's video, I'll be talking about shell basics. You may be asking, what is a shell? The shell is a program that takes commands from the keyboard and gives them to the operating system to perform. On most Linux systems, a program called bash acts as the shell program. So bash stands for Born Again Shell. Aside bash, we have the KSH, TCSH, and ZSH also. So what we are saying is, in essence, is that a shell is just a program that takes command from the keyboard and gives them to the operating system to perform those commands. What is a shell script? A bash script is a series of commands written in a file. These are read and executed by the bash program. The program executes line by line. So when you have series of commands written in a file, we call that a bash script. How do you identify a bash script? um, by its naming convention. Every bash script ends with a file extension .sh. So that's the way to know that this is a bash or a bash script. Then you can also identify a bash script or a script with a shebang. Now, what is a shebang? A shebang is a combination of bash, which is this symbol, and bang, which is this symbol, followed by the bash shell path. You can see this example here. We have this symbol, bash symbol, and bang symbol, followed by the shell path, that's slash bin slash bash. So once you see this, you know that we are working with a Linux or a bash script. All right, so the first task we'll be doing in this tutorial is tag 0, which is where am I? Where am I? The task is saying we should write a script that prints the absolute path name of the current working directory. So in our script, we are going to have the command that prints the absolute path name of the current working directory. Some things you need to note. Number one, we have to push this scripts or whatever we do into a GitHub repository known as software DevOps, and you have to make your work or your solution be in a directory 00-shell, and you add a readme file to that, and the name of the file um, where you put your script is going to be task underscore 0. So now write a script that prints the absolute path name of the current working directory. And you have to know that the command that does this is pwd. So the command that prints the absolute path name of the current working directory is pwd. And so we have to put this command in our script. So the first thing we'll do now is to fire up our terminal. Okay, before we fire up our terminal, we have to make sure we've created this repository. So we go to our GitHub account, and in GitHub account I have already created this repository, software DevOps. If you want to know how to create a repository, you can check my previous video on um, creation of a repository. And so the repository is created already. We fire up our terminal, and our terminal we clone. The first thing we need to do is to clone the repository. I've already cloned mine, and that's why you can see it here. So I've cloned mine. To know how to know how to clone a repository, you can check my previous video on cloning a GitHub repository. So I enter my repository, and you can see I've changed my directory to software hyphen DevOps. Now back to the question. The question says our repository should be software on the hyphen DevOps. Why the directory where our solution should be is 00-shell. So here I'm going to create a directory. So I make a directory, and name of the directory should be 00-shell. And then when I press enter, I can list the content of this and see that, oh, I've created a directory successfully. And what I need to do is to navigate into this directory so that I can create my script. So I navigate into this directory in obedience to the question, which says that our solution should be in this directory. But before I create my script, I have to add a readme.md file. So doing that is very easy. I just use echo, and I give it a my readme file should have this in it. It should have okay, let me use shell basics. All right, shell basics fine, is fine. So I push this into this file readme.md. So if since readme was not created before, it's going to create it, and to have the content shell basics. So I can check that using um the command cat readme.md, and pressing enter. You can see I have shell basics created. So I have done the first part successfully. I've added a readme.md file, and now I want to perform this task inside the file task underscore zero. And what exactly am I doing? I'm writing a script that prints the absolute path name of the current working directory. Remember, the command that does that is pwd. Pwd prints the absolute path name of the current working directory. So back to my terminal. um, all I need to do now is to I'm going to be making use of vi text editor to write this script. So I put vi, and the name of my file is task underscore zero. So task underscore zero. When I press zero, it opens my vi text editor. I press letter I on my keyboard to enter the insert mode, and now I can insert this is the shebang. I have to do this first. Remember I said you have to do this to show that it is um, a script, a bash script. So this is the first thing that must be there to show that it's a bash script. Pressing enter, then I put the command pwd, which is actually the the command that brings the absolute path name of a working directly. So once I'm done with that, that's all about that. I press escape to go into my command mode. I press I type put in um, column WQ to save this and exit to my terminal, and back to my terminal. If I list the content of this terminal, I'm going to see readme.md that I previously created, and now this file task underscore zero. If I check the content of task underscore zero, you see that I already have the content, the shebang, and pwd, which is the answer or the command that prints the present working directory of our current directory, or the present working name of path name of the current working directory. So after doing this, the next thing I have to do is to push this to my repository. So I first of all add it git add space dot, and I commit this git commit using git commit, and then my commit description. Let me just use task underscore zero for this, and once I press enter, it commits this, and finally I use git push. All right, git push, and after I push that, you can see that it's successful, pushed 100%. So you can go to your GitHub repository, you open your software devops, which is your repository name. Then you see the folder 00-shell was created. We have the two files there, and our readme has this, and of course you can see pwd has been added successfully. All right, so that's all about that task. Going to the next task. The next task is titled what's in there. It says write a script that displays the content list of your current directory. So what is the command to list the content of our working directory? You know that the command is ls is the command to list the to display the content list of your working directory, ls. And so we just do the same thing. First of all, fire up our terminal, and I clear the screen to have more space to work. All right, so still in the same directory, 0 shell, because this question says we should tax one is also saying the directory is 0 shell, but remember the name of the file is tax underscore one. So in that same directory, I create using my vi text editor, I create a new file called task underscore one. And task underscore one, I have to put my shebang first, press I to get into insert mode, and this I put my bin slash bash. All right, and enter, and in here I'm going to put ls, which is the command to list the content of my current working directory, to display the content of my current working directory. I press escape to go into command mode, column wq to save, and press enter to get back to my terminal. And of course, if I list, you see that I already have task one created, and to check the content of task one, you see that task underscore one, rather, you see that I have this there. So all I need to do now is to push this to my git repository. I first of all add it using git add space dot, and I do git commit. All right, git commit -m, and the message, let me use task _1, and I press enter, and that is done. Then I use git push to push to my repository, and here you can see 100% successful. And you can navigate into your git account and to confirm that that was pushed inside this folder 00-shell. You can see task_1 has been pushed successfully, and the content was correctly pushed. So back to um, this, we have another task. There is no place like home. It says write a script that changes the working directory to the user's home directory. So the script that what is the command that takes us to our user's home directory? Everything remains the same. The GitHub repository is the same, the directory is the same, just that now the name of the file is task_2. So you do the same thing we've always done. The command to do that is cd /root. That changes the working directory to the user's home directory. So to change the directory to the root or the user's home directory, use cd /root. So you follow the same process we did in the first two tasks, and you are good to go. We also have another task that says title the long format. Write a script that displays the current directory content in long format. Everything remains the same, just that the file name is now going to be task_3. And so to know the command that does that, you check. All right, the command that does that from this table I've created is display ls -l for long format, and it displays the current directory content in a long format. Remember, to display the content in the normal format we use ls, but now in a long format you have to put space -l, so it displays it in the long format. We also have another task, and task 4 says write a script that displays current directory content including hidden files starting with dot in long format. Everything remains the same. The repository is still software -devops. The directory is 00-shell. The task name now is task 4, and so the command that does this display including hidden files is ls -l -a. This display current directory content including hidden files starting with dot using the long format, this long format -l. So you can see that we have several commands and their functions in this table. You can check them out. This number 6 says display ls -la dot displays current directory content, and this other one is a script that creates a directory named my underscore first directory. And so you can see this. You can check the other part of the table. Number 8, this is a command to move the file Betty from this directory to this new path. Number 9, the same thing. This is the command to delete the file Betty in this, and so you can check everything. Number 11 says cd -hyphen is used to change the working directory to the previous one. You can check the next page also for more commands, and you see this command here is to create a symbolic link to this. This number 15 is a script that copies all the HTML. It's actually a command that is used to copy all the HTML files from the current working directory to the parent of the working directory. And you can check these other ones and their function. So I believe this table should guide us on what to do if we are to come across any task that want us to perform any of these functions. All right, thank you for watching this video. Kindly subscribe to this channel. Click on the bell notification button to be notified whenever a video is dropped. Click on the like button. Share with your friends. Thank you.